Hello, good morning and welcome aboard to AM News. My name is Denisia Pomaije. In our very first story, Chief Executive Officer of the Environmental Protection Authority, Professor Nanama Brown-Kluche, has reaffirmed government's resolve to reclaim and restore lands devastated by illegal mining. Vast areas of Ghana's forests, farmland and water bodies have been desecrated, threatening public health, livelihoods and also the nation's environmental future. Well, speaking at the launch of a 2,000-hectare pilot reclamation project at Jamankwanta in the Amansia district of the Ashanti region, Professor Kluche underscored government's firm commitment to reversing the destruction caused by Galamsey and also restoring the country's degraded ecosystems. There's more in the following report.
The Lodges Eco Reclaim project, spearheaded by the Environmental Protection Authority with partner institutions under the Government Reclaim, Restore, Rebuild initiative, aims to restore soil fertility, revive biodiversity, and promote sustainable livelihoods. The pilot in the Amansia Central District in the Ashanti region, led by Lodges and supervised by the Environmental Protection Authority, involves local residents, traditional leaders, and partner agencies in reclaiming degraded lands. During a community engagement after inspecting some reclaimed site, Chief Executive Officer of the Environmental Protection Authority, Professor Nanama Brown-Kluche, said the reclaimed lands will host special plant species to restore ecosystems and rebuild livelihoods destroyed by illegal mining.
The reclamation project we are launching today is a step towards healing the land, restoring livelihood, and rebuilding hope. We know the theme is to reclaim, restore, and to rebuild. It's a national initiative that is focusing on the reclamation of degraded lands and the rehabilitation of ecosystems destroyed by mining and other human activities. Through the Eco Reclaim projects, degraded sites will be surveyed, mapped, and restored through activities such as replenishment of the topsoil, slope stabilization. We are going to do planting of indigenous tree species that can extract heavy metals from the soil and revive the health of the soil once again. The largest group will also develop livelihood support system, such as the agroforestry and sustainable farming to benefit the community. The goal is not only to reclaim the land, but also to reclaim livelihoods that have been lost, and especially the dignity of the community.
EPA's acting Ashanti Regional Director, Sydney Kweko-Danso, described the project as a process of healing, urging traditional authorities to take charge and prevent future degradation.
Reclaiming our land is not a one-day event. It is a process of healing. It demands commitment, discipline, and continued support from all stakeholders. I therefore urge our local authorities, traditional leaders, and community members to take ownership of this exercise to protect, reclaim sites, and to prevent degradation.
Chief Executive Officer of Lodges Group Limited, Daniel Doe Tamaklo, outlined best land management practices to ensure the project's success and called on communities to guard reclaimed lands against re-encroachment.
As part of our operational framework, Limited is adopting best land management practices to ensure the long-term success and sustainability of the reclaimed site. This includes the use of phytoremediation and biowood species to naturally restore soil nutrients and stabilize ecosystem. Integrated land use planning, ensuring reclaimed lands are developed for productive agriculture and community purposes. Continuous soil monitoring and mapping using technology to track environmental recovery, and community-based maintenance systems that empowers local residents as custodians of their restored lands. However, for the efforts to yield lasting results, we must all work together to protect the reclaimed site from any form of encroachment.
Traditional leaders have welcomed the initiative, pledging full support to protect restored lands and rebuild livelihoods through the project.
Well, as you can see,
reclamation exercise is ongoing here in German and Kwanta in the Amansie Central District of the Ashanti region. And the exercise you see in your picture, according to the Environmental Protection Authority, would be carried out on about 2,000 hectares of degraded land here in this particular district. And according to the CEO of the Environmental Protection Authority, trees will be planted and farming activity will be brought back. Reporting from German Kwanta here in the Amansie district of the Ashanti region, my name is Carlos Kaloni for JoyNews.
From environmental issues, let's head to education, because the Minister Haruna Idrisu has waded into the social media controversy on whether keeping short hair for senior high school students is the way to go in instilling discipline among students. So this follows a viral video of a first-year student of Yasantua Girls Senior High School who appeared visibly traumatized after school authorities allegedly compelled her to cut her long hair before completing enrollment. Now, the video has since attracted public outrage, with many calling for a review of the GES Code of Conduct barring students from keeping long hair. We'll be hearing from the minister shortly, but first, just take a listen to extracts of social media reactions on the incident.
James Kubenu writes on Facebook, what does cutting or growing hair got to do with character modeling? I'm curious, someone should explain this to me. Africa.echo also writes, she held her hair in her hands, tears rolling down her face. That hair wasn't just beauty, it was pride, identity and culture. Bongo Ideas also exclaims on Facebook, foreigners are allowed to keep their hairs as part of their identity, but for black students, it's not. In 2025, what harm does hair cause? Ghanaian schools must abandon this outdated mentality. This must stop now. Ghanaian musician Adoma on X tweets, I still don't understand this. Had extremely long hair in boarding school in Nigeria JHS, and every other Saturday, braiders would come to braid in a style the school had given. Imagine my shock coming to boarding school in Ghana SHS, and I was told to cut it all off.
Well, the minister seems to have issued a verdict on the matter. Speaking at the 75th anniversary of Mauli School in Ho, the Education Minister Haruna Idrisu was firm in his directive to GES. He empowered them to take full control of how students behave on campus, insisting that the school system is molding a character.
There is an ongoing debate in social media about haircuts and size and length of hair in secondary schools. We will not tolerate it today, we will not tolerate it tomorrow, and so long as we are molding character. If we give in to hair today, tomorrow it will be shoes, and the next day it will be the way they dress. Therefore, as part of our disciplinary measures, headmasters and GES, you are accordingly empowered to take full control of how students behave on your campuses. So anybody who thinks that your child will walk into any institution of learning as if that child, forgive my words, was to attend a beauty contest, the school environment is not for that purpose and not cut for that purpose, and would not tolerate that as an institution.
Now, the president of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors, Surveyor Kofi Obeng Ayirebi, has called on surveyors to move beyond outdated procurement practices and adopt modern, innovative and sustainable approaches that ensure both quality and value for money. Speaking at the 2025 Quantity Surveying Division Conference, he stressed that the profession must evolve to meet contemporary industry demands, adding that true excellence in surveying goes beyond cutting costs and it lies in driving innovation, accountability and also long-term development.
Surveyors across Ghana gathered at the Pempamsi Hotel in Cape Coast for the 2025 Quantity Surveying Division QSD Conference, organized by the Ghana Institution of Surveyors, GHIS. Highlighting the theme of the conference, the president of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors, Surveyor Kofi Obeng Ayirebi, noted that value engineering goes beyond reducing cost at the detriment of quality.
This year's theme, integrating value engineering in infrastructure procurement in Ghana, could not have been a more timely or relevant. As a nation striving to achieve sustainable infrastructure development amid constrained resources, the principles of value engineering present a clear path towards achieving efficiency, economy, and excellence in our project delivery. Value engineering is not about cutting costs at the expense of quality. Rather, it is about optimizing function, improving performance, and maximizing value for every CD spent. It therefore challenges us as professionals and policymakers to rethink the traditional approach to procurement of works, goods, and services.
The chairman of the Quantity Surveying Division of GHRS, Surveyor Seyajiman Bedu, emphasized the aim of the conference.
So all what we are trying to do is that we are trying to draw government's attention to the fact that the money that they invest in projects, it shouldn't just be looking at cutting costs at the initial stages, like you go for tender and then the least price and you think that that gives you a project, but it doesn't actually deliver to meet expectations of the client. So this time around, we are bringing on board the people who are going to benefit from the project to give their input in the design, look at alternative designs, how alternative designs can be more cost effective. We also even look at the materials that you use for the project. Are they alternative materials that will be cheaper and serve the same purpose? That's when you start looking at even local materials. For preparation on all the stakeholders. You see, because if you want to even say that it is cooperation at the instance of government, it's professionals who design them and go to. So it is all the stakeholders. So we need to have the realization that we all have to sit and make sure that we think through what we do and then get projects prepared adequately to serve the intended purpose for which we do the projects.
Surveyor Dr. Najele Duamekpo, the chairperson of the Divisional Subcommittee for Continuous Professional Development, noted that current infrastructure projects in the country do not reflect public expected values.
If you take the quantity surveyor, which is us, how do we look at the cost and manage the procurement process in such a way that we gain value? One of the emphasis we place in procurement is on when we are selecting contractors or goods and services, is looking at least cost. Does least cost definitely give us value? Not necessarily, right? So once we can move away from that idea that least cost is the best way or basis for selecting our contractors, determining, our goods and services, then we begin to look at more value rather than cost. I think a lot of the emphasis is on cost and not value, but value and cost are not the same thing.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Lissel and Koma reports for JoyNews.
President of the Ghana Hotels Association, Dr. Edward Akanyameke, has called for greater investment in Ghana's tourism sector, stressing that while the country attracts about 1.3 million visitors annually, the potential exists to double that figure through strategic development and innovation. Speaking at the association's 50th anniversary symposium, Dr. Nyameke highlighted that Ghana can leverage the rich historical and educational heritage of cities like Cape Coast to promote education-based tourism, positioning the country as a leading destination in Africa.
50 years, we should work towards having a training institution worthy of 50 years.
For its 50th anniversary celebration, the Ghana Hotels Association, GHA, marked the occasion with the theme 50 Years of Advocacy, Perseverance and Impacts in Ghana's Tourism and Hospitality Industry. While commending the efforts of Ghana's hospitality industry, the Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Jifa Blagomashi, noted that the industry contributed about 4.8 billion cedis to the country's GDP last year.
Hospitality sector remains the backbone of Ghana's tourism ecosystem. If we contributed over 4.8 billion last year to the GDP of our country, imagine if we put a little bit more in there, what we can do together. Without hotels, lodges, guest houses, eco-resource and budget facilities, our tourism offerings would be incomplete. So you are a valuable part of what we do for this country. You provide not just rooms, but experiences. You are the first and last impression of Ghana that visitors encounter, your contribution to job creation, local economic development, and community investment cannot be overemphasized. We also acknowledge your support for the creative arts and culinary sector, transport services, and the cultural tourism, and the whole ecosystem, really. Indeed, the Ghana Hotels Association is a central pillar in the Black Star experience, the government's vision that seeks to promote Ghana as the gateway to the African experience of blending cultural pride, heritage, creativity, and hospitality into one powerful national brand. We can do this.
Ghana Tourism Authority CEO Mami Efuagwajeto outlined new methods championed by the authority to ensure sustainability in hospitality management.
Another thing that Ghana Tourism Authority is also introducing into the industry is sustainability. We want to make sure that the green agenda, we are a part of it. So we are introducing solar here and there. We are also introducing a number of things that, engulfs the sustainability regulations, So these are, we are looking at water wastage, we are looking at solar, we are looking at greens and plants, all of these. And of course, we are also trying to make sure that, we do away with plastics and have more paper products instead of plastic products. So these are some of the things that Ghana Tourism Authority go out into hotels looking for, just so we can support the green agenda.
The president of GHA, Dr. Edward Akanyameke, noted that while the country is doing well in tourism, other initiatives can be harnessed to boost the sector.
Let's make tourism and hospitality a priority area, an area where all ministers must be on board. Every minister must receive serious orientation on tourism and hospitality, so that together we drive this industry, which we see it as a low-hanging fruit. It has that huge potential to turn our economy around.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Lissel Nkoma reports for JoyNews.
And from Cape Coast, let me bring you back to Accra, because the grand finale of the EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair 2025 brought together unbeatable housing deals, expert insights, and innovative home solutions, all under one roof at the Accra International Conference Center. For the hundreds of patrons who thronged the venue, it was truly fulfilling, and one they would have regretted missing. Let's hear from some of the excited patrons and exhibitors who made it there.
Thank you. So we've been here for 4 days. Today is the last day, and we've had patrons coming through our booth. As you can see, we have display here. We have launched a new product, that's our AI smart CCTV camera, and then our solar powered CCTV camera. We have body worn camera as well. So we have had people come through and we have displayed the items here. We've shown people how it's been used and the benefits of it. So far so good. We've had patrons coming through, and we are hoping to close more sales with the attendance we have. We are hoping to close more sales after that fair.
So far so good. So was this what you were expecting when you guys decided to come for the Habitat Fair?
I would say yes, because we've had potential clients who are willing to, patronize our doors and even kitchens. Yes, so it meets our expectations.
It's been great. We've had troops of people coming in here. We've already started doing business, and so for the Habitat Fair has always been a good opportunity for us, and it's been great this year. So we're excited. We started on Thursday. Yes, Friday was okay. Yesterday and today has been something else. Yeah, so we are grateful.
Wonderful. So you had expectations before you came. Well, have those expectations been met?
Sure. Exhibitions are not for sales. They are for us to showcase and to tell the populace what we have. And for this one, we have done more than just exhibiting. We've been able to close some deals here and there, and so it's been exciting.
The response has been so far very incredible, and in fact the follow-ups and the number of attendees and the leads you are having have been very, very, very encouraging. In fact, we've also had concerns raised about potential customers, about the issues and challenges they are having in the market. So we are looking forward to resolving all those things to serve the customers that we are new market entrants. So I think we find it in a position and we find it's a great opportunity to sign up to this particular event.
Yeah, today is my first day. I heard today is the last day, so I decided to pass through. And I like what I'm seeing, the doors, the security systems, the cameras, CCTV cameras around. Yeah, it's been good. I've made certain choices. I pick up contact numbers, and I'm hoping to get in touch with them.
Oh, I came to the Habitat Fair because of solar. That was my main aim, because I always hear the adverts on Joy FM, and even to the extent of if you want pre-financing, it can go even up to that level. So I came, I met, and I think I have had answers to my questions. Now I'm satisfied, so I'll know where to choose from.
Yeah, my expectations have been met. So it's good. It's good that we have such a things in Ghana. Sometimes some people doesn't travel to nowhere, and they have capacity and ability to buy some of the thing, but they don't know who will educate them and take them to this place. But as this thing is going on now, everybody will be educated, everybody will be directed to come around and get this kind of materials or these shows. When they come around, they will get what they want.
To join us next year. Well, I hand over to Samuel Kojibrace to bring us some business news.
Let's do some business update here. The cocoa marketing company has stated that it will make a strong case through Cocoa Board to demand an extra $200 on every ton of cocoa beans sold to the European Union. This, the cocoa marketing company says, will be achieved through the European Union's deforestation regulations. The following report captures more.
To the cocoa marketing company, Ghana has invested in gadgets and communications network which enables canning cocoa beans at farms and then uploading the data onto an electronic platform. The cocoa marketing company revealed that major cocoa buyers are happy to pay the $200 surcharge because of the threat of fines from the EU. The company is making a case that sustainably produced traceable beans come at a cost and must be paid for by the buyers as required under EU rules. Hence, Ghana is ready to demand for the money. If the payment is granted, Ghana, which is currently the second largest producer of cocoa in the world, could earn more to improve the well-being of farmers. The EU deforestation regulation, known as EUDR, aims to tackle felling of trees associated with the bloc's import of commodities such as soy, cocoa, coffee, beef, and palm oil. This week, the EU proposed granting companies a 6-month window to comply with the rules, which both the EU Parliament and member states still need to sign off. Europe is the world's biggest cocoa consuming region.
And that's all in business update. Back to you, Poma.
Thank you, Samuel Kojibrace. And that's it for AM News. But if you want more news, you know we've got you covered, right? Please log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Denisia Pomaije. Up next, it's sports.